Movie, film. Movie, film.
Is it a movie,
film,
or a film?
Movie, film.
Is it a movie,
Great movie.
or a film?
Fascinating.
Is it a movie,
Love that movie.
or a film?
Haven't heard of that.
Is it a movie,
My favorite movie.
or a film?
Superhero movies, they're not cinema.
Welcome, listeners, to another episode of
Movie. Film. It's a podcast where we pick a flick and decide if it's a movie or a film.
Yeah.
I'm Nate, and vengeance has consumed you. It's consuming them. I'm done letting it consume me.
And I'm Terrill. And a Vampire Anatomy 101, crosses in holy water don't douche dick. So forget what you've seen in movies.
That's Blade.
That's Blade, baby. The very first.
Okay.
The very first. And yours is Captain America, right?
How'd you know?
Sometimes I get them right.
Which Captain America is it?
Is it Civil War?
Yeah, it's the one with T'Challa.
Okay.
He's the one that says that
Yeah,
line.
that makes sense.
It's all about vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Black Panther today.
Yes, we are.
We're done with Black History Month. We're now into Afrofuturism year. I don't know. Week. But yeah, I'm very excited that we're doing like crazy fantasy stuff now.
Yeah.
Though I guess we'll still probably talk about the real world a bit.
Yeah.
Before we talk about Black Panther, though, I guess let's talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like it when we rank things, when we do our top fives.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do our top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe movie films.
I'm down with that.
Oh, you're down with the thing we agreed to do before I hit record?
I have a list and everything.
Perfect.
How convenient.
Does it happen to be in alphabetical order?
It does happen to be in alphabetical order.
Nice and organized.
Oh, man. All right. So I'll go first.
Okay.
Or you'll go first. No, I'll go first. All right. First up is Black Panther. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't say much on that because we are about to talk about Black Panther.
Yeah, I also picked Black Panther.
Yeah?
Yeah, more on that later.
Yeah.
I guess neither of us picked an Avengers movie because that would have been A. None of us picked Ant-Man.
No.
No?
No A's.
Yeah.
Straight to the B's.
Ant-Man 2.
B's.
No. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Nope. Okay.
It's
Black Panther and Black Panther. I'll go next.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow, me too.
Uh-oh. Maybe we should have conferred.
I think these lists are going to be the same.
Yeah, this movie came out of nowhere. After getting like Iron Man and Thor and Captain America and the Hulk, you know those people. And then who are these alien people? Like now we're in space.
Yeah,
now there's a tree. There's a talking raccoon that has Bradley Cooper doing a great performance.
Yeah,
people forget it's him.
I do.
Gamora's awesome.
Yeah,
and say what you will about Chris Pratt's movie career, which maybe it hasn't been great, but when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I remember being very excited to see Andy Dwyer in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And
we were Park and Rec's fan.
Yeah, I think his Star-Lord is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good like Indiana Jones thing. And it's a good thing he didn't end up doing Indiana Jones because
that was like the thing, right? Yeah.
But like let Chris Pratt do his thing. Yeah. It's a little remix on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Guardians is just really fun.
It was really fun. It's one of those ones where, like, if you were like a comic book fan, a comic book nerd, then you knew what was coming. But for like the general public,
did you know what was coming?
No, I had no idea.
I didn't know which camp you were in.
I think it's really cool because they pulled it off, and it's just like, do more like that. Pull more from like the comic book universe that like the public doesn't know about necessarily, and make it interesting, make us care about it, you know? And that's what they did with Guardians. I saw this movie in like IMAX 3D, and I don't really like 3D movies like that, but this one was amazing. And, IMAX 3D.
What's that planet? Nowhere with a K? Yeah. Nowhere, and the whole planet is just like a skull?
Yeah.
That probably looked cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
We Are Groot.
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
All right, let's see if we split up now. What's your next pick?
My next pick is Homecoming.
Oh, I didn't pick Homecoming.
I picked Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, the new Spider-Man, Tom Holland. I liked it a lot. I mean, I like that they got a kid to do it. They went really young. Mm-hmm. Not like Hollywood young.
Not Tobey Maguire again?
Yeah, not Tobey Maguire young.
People want them to bring him back.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's our first
I read like, Spider-Man. Hey, if they do the multiverse, bring back Tobey.
There's a special place in my heart for Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker. But
Spider-Man 2 is still one of my favorite superhero movies, like of all superhero movies. Yeah. But we're not doing that list.
Yeah, not yet. But yeah, Homecoming just felt, it felt current and it felt like Gen Z, and it was just like, it was just so diverse, and so colorful. Like all the kids in the school were just all different backgrounds and creeds, and Peter Parker really felt like a part of the neighborhood, and he spoke Spanish, like he was part of the New York culture. He wasn't just a New Yorker. He just wasn't this character in a New York setting, you know what I mean? I feel like some of the past Spider-Man movies did that, where it's just like, oh, he's Peter Parker from New York. We know that, but they're not really showing us that. And I feel like Homecoming really like put that on display, very clearly, which I was just like, wow, I really like this. Right.
Yeah, I really also like Michael Keaton as a Vulture in that.
Yeah.
And like the twist, there's a good twist in there.
Yeah.
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 That scene where he's driving him to prom.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. And I really like Homecoming, so I have to like watch Far From Home. I don't know why I haven't
yet. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't done it yet.
And Homecoming's one of your top 5 MCU movies.
Yeah, I know. I sometimes I get like lazy when it comes to movies, and I kind of just lull on them. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to get on it because it does have one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, which is Mysterio.
Yeah, I wonder how you'll feel about how they do it in that.
Yeah.
My next pick is Infinity War. It was tempting for me to put my top 5 just all of the team-up movies, because for me, that's like the most exciting moments is when you get like
it's really fun.
All the big heroes together and like all the big movie stars together. Mm-hmm. They all get to use their different powers. Infinity War is my favorite of those, though, because it's really Thanos' movie.
Yeah. It's the bad guys movie.
It's the bad guys movie, and it's the stakes for the next one, but it stands on its own. I like to think of it as the Empire Strikes Back of the Avengers movies. Mm-hmm. Really ends with a downer. Yeah. Thanos wins. I mean, I was rooting for him, so I wasn't that unhappy.
On your outlook on things.
But yeah, that theater experience was really, really cool. I remember seeing it in a packed theater, and just at the end, everyone was confused and angry. Yeah. I just had a big smile.
I had a big smile too. Because also I'm thinking like, okay, cool. This is a movie where the villain wins, but also like, we know that there's gonna be another Avengers movie.
Yeah, but I like that they didn't call it part 1. Yeah. So it's its own thing. Yeah. And yeah, one of the few times that Marvel genuinely surprised me with the way a movie ended. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Team Thanos. That is also on my list.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it is also on my list. So I'll just move to my last one, which is Iron Man 1.
The last one is the first one.
The first one. The first MCU. The one that kicks it off. The head honcho, Iron Man himself. I went to the movies to go see this, and I was not the biggest Iron Man fan. I left a big Iron Man fan after watching this.
I think a lot of people did.
I think, yeah. And it's just like, he shouldn't be a likable character, but he really is just a likable character. He's just a smart ass.
Yeah, really ended up being the prototype that most other Marvel characters were. Either like you have Star-Lord or Doctor Strange, or both Tony Stark types, or like I feel like in the characterization, at least in the cinematic versions of like T'Challa or Steve Rogers, Captain America, like they kind of had to make it play off of Iron Man. He was really the center, and still is, even as the character
There are a lot of
It's gone.
character type similarities in like Marvel period when you have characters like Star-Lord. I feel like Star-Lord and like Peter Parker, and then you have a character like Iceman. Like all of those are like not the same character, but they're all like humorous, wisecracking characters, you know, with a sense of humor.
Yeah, they all definitely have the same sense of humor, probably because it's the same room of writers that are punching up all the scripts and adding the cultural references that people seem to love.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my next pick is also an Iron Man, but it's not Iron Man. It's Iron Man 3.
The third one.
I have a lot of love for Jon Favreau and what he did with Iron Man and really kicking off the whole MCU, but I think Iron Man 3 as its own thing works really well as a Tony Stark character study. I mean, I didn't read the comics, but I know it's a part of the comics that he like struggles with alcoholism, and that's definitely dealt with in the third one in a Hollywood way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's cool. And Shane Black does his thing where he always makes these like dark movies set in Christmas time. And he did that with Iron Man 3 also. He really has his own, not even style, just like a genre.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun to see that be brought into Iron Man, the world. And while Guy Pearce isn't the best villain, there's some good Gwyneth Paltrow stuff, and that kid's cute. And I like Adam Pally popping up.
I was really upset with what they did with the Mandarin. I remember that. Like,
that was
really...
Iron Man 2?
No, that's Iron Man 3.
Was it?
Yeah, with Ben Kingsley. Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember being really excited for that villain to pop up, and then they did what they did. Yeah. What they ended up doing, and I was kind of upset. So, you know what? That's probably why that wouldn't be in my top ones.
The twist didn't work for you.
Yeah, the twist didn't work for me. I was just like, what the hell?
It was goofy.
Yeah. But I think they're gonna actually MCU is actually doing something with the Mandarin. Yeah,
because the three rings are definitely real. They're the ones that captured Tony in the first one. I guess I didn't mind that as much because generally I don't care about the villains in Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
And them pushing that aside created more room to explore Tony and his flawed characteristics, and he gets to work to overcome that.
The only villains that people care about are Batman villains.
Batman's got the best villains.
He has the best villains.
And some pretty wacky ones, too.
Yeah. He has a lot.
You said your whole list already,
right?
Yeah,
my whole list.
All right,
that's it.
So I got one more.
Okay.
And it's Captain America Winter Soldier.
Okay.
This was the second Captain America movie, the first one first Marvel movie done by the Russo brothers, who went on to do Civil War and then Infinity War and Endgame. Really being the dominant filmic voice of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're out, so we'll see what happens, which I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
But the first Captain America is all right, a period piece, but they brought him into the modern times with Avengers, and now he gets his own political espionage thriller. I like Robert Redford in that as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Widow Captain America dynamic is fun, and the whole Bucky Barnes story is pretty compelling to me. I just think that movie has a lot of momentum and is one of the handful that I would revisit. I think a lot of these I wouldn't. I mean, the ones I listed I would.
Mm-hmm.
Not about to watch Ragnarok again. Not about to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2 again. Sorry. Not about to watch, I don't know, the Ant-Man or Captain Marvel.
Ant-Man's good.
Ant-Man's good, but...
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember the Winter Soldier as well as I should.
Okay. They're gonna be like spying on everyone.
Yeah.
And Captain America's like, no, that's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Hydra one.
Right.
Hydra is like infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. and S.H.I.E.L.D. is disbanded by the end of it. Spoiler.
Spoiler.
So that's what happens in that one. All right, let's get more in depth about our first choice, though.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Yeah, we don't have any trailers because we're recording this early.
Yes, we are.
You're in Disney World.
I'm in Disney right now with the Black Panther.
How is it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
That's good to hear.
I got my Harry Potter wand in one hand. I have my Sherry
any butter
hand
beer?
gauntlets. Oh, tons of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back with a beer belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, so yeah, no trailers. We'll get to them next week. I'm sure they're piling up.
Yeah.
But for now, let's just hop right into Black Panther.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go.
We are home. My son, it is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
The revolution will not be televised. Show me my respect and bow down.
We own ya. We own ya. We only getting started now. Cause we own ya. Everybody think they know me now. Cause we own ya. You and I my homie now. Cause we own ya.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out.
Wakanda forever!
The revolution will not be televised.
Let's have some fun.
The revolution will be live.
Black Panther is a 2018 American superhero picture based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name. It's directed by Ryan Coogler, who co-wrote the screenplay with Joe Robert Cole. Stars Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa / Black Panther alongside Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Denai Guerrera, Martin Freeman, Daniel Kaluuya, Letitia Wright, Winston Duke, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, and Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in Selma, we talked about how great the cast was in that. This also has a good cast.
A really great cast.
One that's deserving of me listing off all the major players.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
They, right when the Marvel Universe was really feeling stale, for me at least,
Mm-hmm.
I think for a lot of people, this comes. And
It's big news.
I think it does a lot of the same things that we've seen before, but in a much different way.
Mm-hmm.
And with much different characters.
Yeah.
And I like that about it.
Mm-hmm. It was
It broke so many records.
yeah, it was a big deal.
Best
that,
Picture nominee at the Oscars,
yeah.
too.
Yeah, it was a big
And
deal
won several.
that this movie was being made because it was the first. No, it wasn't even the first. It was, I guess it was just the first in a long time, but the first in like the MCU.
Yeah, after the superhero boom, where
Yeah.
that became every few months a new superhero movie.
That it was going to be a black hero in the
Mhm.
lead. And it was going to be Black Panther.
Yeah.
And that was, it was big news because we were all just waiting for for something like this. Up until this point, all the movies have been led by white men, right?
White men, wisecracking, man children.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's not even different. It's not even different kinds of white men. They're all the same, like scruffy.
Yeah, and I mean,
assholes.
Still, even to this day, we don't have. I mean, we're gonna get it, but we don't have it yet. Like a woman-led superhero movie from MCU.
We had Captain Marvel.
You're right. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Black Widow.
Black Widow's coming later, but
we had,
Captain Marvel exists.
That took a while to get as well.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it was different. It was new and it was exciting.
Yeah, I mean, and just that alone is enough to get a lot of people in the theater. But Ryan Coogler really makes you stay in your seat.
Yeah.
Not in my opinion, knocked it out of the park. Did what he could within the Marvel system to make this a memorable, exciting.
Yeah, he had a really just uphill trajectory from Fruitvale Station to Creed to Black Panther.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that happens with a lot of white male independent filmmakers, where they make like one movie that garners a lot of acclaim in festivals, and then they're handpicked to then, I don't know, direct Jurassic Park reboots.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens much less for directors of color, and even less female.
Yeah.
But that's another thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a run, Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
I still gotta watch the Creed, and I guess he didn't do Creed 2, but still gotta watch those.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Rocky either. That's
okay. You don't need to. You just need to know about Rocky to see Creed.
I know about Rocky.
Then you can see Creed.
Okay. Black Panther opens with the story of Wakanda told through, it's like animated, like through the sand, like the sand table that they have later.
Yeah, it's really cool. The animation style that is used in this story and also used in the end credits of the movie. We learned that vibranium fell from the sky. It came from space and it crashed in Africa. And 5 tribes came upon it. And those 5 tribes became Wakanda.
Yeah, and they were at war over the vibranium until one warrior ingests a heart-shaped herb.
Yeah.
That's affected by the vibranium, and this gives him superhuman abilities, and he becomes the first Black Panther.
Right, and he brings everyone together except for the one tribe, the Jabari tribe.
Yeah, do you think the Jabari tribe wasn't into it because the other tribes had names like the mining tribe, the border tribe, and the merchant tribe?
Yeah, they were like, what are we supposed to be, the mountain tribe? And they truly were anti-technology.
Yeah.
And that's probably a big factor in why they left.
Yeah.
Decided not to be a part of what everyone else was doing.
What everyone else was doing was developing the technology, super advanced, unseen to the world of the Marvel's Earth, really.
Yeah, they eventually they close their borders.
Yeah, they isolated.
They hide themselves.
They camouflage using the technology.
Yeah, and no one knows about it except for if you're inside of it.
Yeah, to the rest of the world, Wakanda is a third world country, but we quickly discover that is not the case.
Yeah, so they get to have this enrichment that is vibranium, and then get to progress in the way that the world isn't. And the world is, and I really like this when I first saw it, and I still like it now, how they depict war and they also show slavery. I was just like, wow, they showed slavery in a Disney superhero movie.
Yeah,
it was quick, but it's there. Yeah, they acknowledged it, that this is what's happening in the world, and that, while that's happening, Wakanda is just minding its business.
And thriving.
Yeah.
Without anyone knowing.
Mm-hmm.
We then cut to Ryan Coogler movie. So, Oakland.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said I've only ever seen Fruitvale Station and Black Panther, I guess. But he's from Oakland.
He's from Oakland.
And he brought his home into the Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is nighttime. We see some kids playing basketball, and then we see an apartment where Sterling K. Brown resides.
Yeah.
He gets a visit.
Yeah, this part feels like one of those movies I watched as a kid. Like it just had that like 90s kid movies vibe, like from like the basketball court into the apartment. I was like, oh man, this feels so familiar. But Sterling K. Brown and his name is Denzel Whitaker, the actor he's in the apartment with.
Is that Forrest's son?
No, it's not.
Because he's playing a young Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, which is funny.
Okay.
Because he got his start working with Denzel
Washington.
Denzel Washington, yeah. So it's funny that he has both figures in his life and in his career. He has both Denzel Washington and Forrest Whitaker. His name is Denzel Whitaker. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're visited by Njobu. No, they're visited by T'Chaka.
Yeah, T'Chaka.
Sterling K. Brown is Njobu.
Yeah.
He's undercover in Oakland.
Yeah, he's a spy.
Yeah, we find out that Sterling K. Brown is really a Wakandan because he lowers his lip.
Yeah.
And he has like this lip tattoo that
lights
shines
up.
blue.
Yeah. And that's a really cool identifier and a really cool thing to just pull down your lip and have it there.
So T'Chaka's mad that Njobu's been assisting Claw, Ulysses Claw.
Yeah.
Who was introduced in Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It's Andy Serkis's villain. So bringing in a character we already know from the other movies. So he's mad that Njobu's like part of the black market vibranium weapon sales.
Yeah.
Because Wakanda's all about keeping the vibranium to themselves.
Yeah. And Njobu just wants to help Black Americans. He sees the injustices and the mass incarcerations, and he is trying to help at any cost. The cost being treason.
Yeah, treason for which he thinks he's going to get away with because he's got Zuri with him. Yeah. Denzel Whitaker. But it turns out Zuri's not an Oaklander either. He's also Wakandan.
Yeah, he's a spy.
Surprise. T'Chaka says, did you really think you're the only spy I would deploy? So he's got spies spying on his spies.
Yeah.
So yeah, find out that's Zuri, and he's really has his allegiances with Wakanda and King T'Chaka. So Njobu's fucked.
Yeah. And that sequence pretty much ends with their spaceship that the kids can actually see. They see it lit up in the sky. They just see it like go away.
Yeah.
And that's all the information we get.
Yeah, and then we are reintroduced to Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, aka Black Panther.
Yep.
In Captain America Civil War, his dad, the aforementioned T'Chaka. There's a lot of like mythology here to get through. Yeah. His dad was murdered, and then T'Challa takes on the mantle of the Black Panther. That already happened.
Yeah, it's really cool that they kind of use a previous movie kind of as like a quick origin story for him, so they didn't have to do all that all over again. They could just start right where they wanted to. And
where they wanted to is him, T'Challa, and Okoye are going to get their pal Nakia because T'Challa's about to have his coronation as King of Wakanda.
Yeah.
And he wants his girl there.
Yeah, he's going to interrupt her super important mission.
Yeah.
To bring her to the ceremony. All the technology that they show us It's really quick, but it's really cool. You see that sand again, and he gets to see what it looks like on the ground, like the trucks traveling. He gets a very clear picture. He knows where to jump and when to jump.
Yeah, they got the tech.
Yeah. And Okoye tells him, don't freeze.
Yeah, when you get there, don't freeze.
Don't freeze.
And he's like, I'm not going to.
I never freeze. And he hops out, and that music starts playing, like those trumpets.
Yeah.
Ludwig did an amazing job composing music for this.
Yeah, he won the Oscar for it.
Yeah, he won the Oscar, deservingly so.
It's the guy that came up doing music for like
Childish
Community
Gambino.
and New Girl.
Childish Gambino.
He met Donald Glover in Community.
Gambino songs. And he throws these balls, these blue balls that when they go in the car, they're beads. Okay, the beads when they touch the car, they like turn the car off.
Yeah,
just shut off the electricity, and they have to get out and figure out what happened.
Yeah, and we got our first like real action sequence.
Yeah,
it's nighttime, but we get some lights from guns shooting at T'Challa that are doing nothing.
Yeah, it's really cool because the first time you see him, he's in the tree like a panther.
You hear
and
the tree rustling, and then they look, and it's just an animal.
Yeah,
and then you look up, and it's
and then it cuts. Yeah. Like you don't see him pounce or anything. You just hear the guns going off. Really effective.
Yeah, a good demonstration of his powers.
Yeah.
And his command of those powers.
Yeah.
And then he freezes.
Yeah. Nakia is a warrior herself. She's a spy, and she's capable of handling herself, and she steps out and fights with him. But when he sees her, he freezes, and that allows someone with a gun to like hold them up. Hold them up at gunpoint.
But Okoye knew he was going to freeze, so she's got the spear and takes care of business.
She came down as well, even though he told her not to. That's 2 times already. I feel like he's been saved by women in less than 10 minutes of the movie.
Happens a lot.
Yes.
In this movie, not in others. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't know why I say that. Like, people don't know that. So Nakia's like, what's going on? I was in the middle of this mission. There's a lot of work went into this. But we get the announcement that T'Challa's father has died, and he's going to be sworn in as king, and he'd like her to be there.
Yeah.
So she gets on board their ship.
Yeah.
They're about to enter Wakanda, and I love how the sequence is done, because we're on the camera's on T'Challa and Nakia just sitting on the ship. Old friends, lovers, they hadn't seen each other in a long time. Embracing, smiles. And then for the first time in the movie, we get sunlight.
Yeah.
And it's just reflected on their faces, and everything's bright and warm. And we get Okoye saying, "We're home."
Yeah.
And then T'Challa saying, "This never gets old." And you go through the trees into Wakanda. And
it looks like they're going to crash, but it's just an illusion.
Yeah, and there's just the picture, there's just so much warmth and light and vibrance.
And the trumpets kick in. It feels really triumphant.
Yeah, and just by having all the scenes previously be like taking place in the nighttime, it really exaggerates that feeling when you enter Wakanda, and I like that.
Yeah.
So we land.
We land, and we get Queen Mother, played by Angela Bassett, and Shuri, played by.
I just want to say Angela Bassett's the real Black Widow of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scarlett had to take that from her. Shuri's played by Letitia Wright.
Yeah, Letitia Wright. Yeah, I was saying Letitia Wright.
Yeah, she's T'Challa's little sister.
Yeah.
And also the Q of the movie. If it were a James Bond movie, she's the gadgets person. Yeah. She's not even there to see him. She's just there to get the beads from him because she wants to fix them. Yeah. He says, "I think that worked fine," but then she gets the line, "Just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved." Yeah. And this is really throughout the movie, all the side characters get an opportunity to they have these lines that don't like apply to what's happening in the scene, but it's really just like laying down the thematic groundwork and saying this is this character's point of view. And like T'Challa doesn't really get any of those until the end. Yeah. Because he doesn't really have a clear ideology until...
Yeah, he's kind of the middleman of the movie.
He's informed by everyone's philosophies.
Yeah, on the spectrum, he's in the middle. And then you have Killmonger at one end, and you have like Nakia at the other end. And he's trying to figure out where to go on that spectrum.
Well, I'd say his father would be on the other end.
Yeah.
It really, because it really started with
with the father.
The fathers.
Being like,
father
keeping
his brother,
that secret.
And then it's the next generation that are dealing with that decision. But yeah, how special for a Marvel movie to have all these side characters that are can be easily distinguished by their points of view. It's not, you don't get that. Yeah. You do not get that, let alone black characters being individuals. Yeah. And having enough black characters in a movie that you're even able to do that. It can't go understated.
Right. So after that, we get our first look at Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger.
Yeah, whereas Wakanda was all yellow and orange and warm, we then moved to London where it's just blue. Yeah. So blue and foggy in London.
Yeah, you think of London as foggy, cold, and maybe raining all the time.
Yeah, Eric Stevens.
Yep, that's him.
Played by Michael B. Jordan with that awesome denim jacket.
And those dreads, that hairstyle, that Killmonger style. And those gold fangs. Yeah. Yeah, the gold fangs.
He's at the British Museum getting a private tour. Yeah. And he's having, like, this British woman just explain to him what everything is in the museum.
Yeah, explain the African art to him. And then they get to this one piece, and she says it's from one place in Africa. And he says, actually, no, it's from Wakanda, and it's vibranium.
Yeah, British soldiers did steal it from Benin, but it came from Wakanda.
Yeah. And he's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to take it off your hands. Like, he's so, like, sly. He's so sly. And she's like, what? Excuse me? And she's already having, like, issues, like stomach issues here.
It turns out the heist had already been in progress. We thought we were just getting the beginning of it. But our introduction to Killmonger, much like Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight, is just mid-heist. Yeah. You get to see them in action in all their glory.
Yeah. And it turns out that he poisoned her coffee. Well, maybe he didn't, but they did. Poisoned her coffee. And,
I think the girl did.
Yeah, and that creates a diversion. Creates a scene.
Yeah, it calls the doctors over, and when that happens,
it turns out to be
Claw comes in.
Turns out to be Andy.
Andy Serkis, one of the few Andy Serkis roles where you see him as himself.
He's really great.
But I mean, definitely still doing a character.
Yeah. But he's him. He's not.
Yeah, he's not Caesar from the Planet of the Apes or Gollum. Yeah. Good actor.
Yeah. And, they kill everyone, and they have fun doing so because they let that one guy go like, hey, I'm going to let you go. Just run. And they shoot him in the back. And the point of doing that is to make it look like amateurs did it.
Yeah, spread out the crime scene.
Yeah, spread out the crime scene.
And they're joined by their third member is, I don't even know if she has a name.
I don't think so. She's just...
she's undercover at the coffee stand in the museum. She can be applied. She's the one that poisoned the guy. She joins the gang, and she's macking with Killmonger.
Yeah. They are a thing. When they're making their exit and Killmonger's on like the stretcher, and like that's how they get out, and they like start kissing in the back, and Claw's laughing. I'm like, oh, they're having fun.
Yeah.
This is a good time.
Meanwhile, in Wakanda, the coronation begins. And there's just a lot of there's clearly very thought out the culture and traditions of Wakanda for this movie, and we get to see this big ceremony.
Yeah.
And all the 4 of the tribes coming together, and the waterfall and the dancing and the music and
there's so much
costumes. This is
color and so much costuming choices.
This
so
is
many
our third
patterns.
movie that's costumed by Ruthie Carter.
Yeah.
Within a couple weeks, she did What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yeah.
Selma. Now we're talking about her work in Black Panther. She is. I mean, you call her if you want.
Yeah.
If you want a costume.
Yeah.
To really stand out in the colors.
Yeah, there's so much detail and care put into the costuming and the music and the writing of this movie. So much work done behind the scenes that when it got in front of the camera, it was just magnificent. And the costumes are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this ceremony it's not really him just getting the crown. First, they ask if anyone wants to challenge him.
Yeah, and to make it a fair fight, they have to strip him of the Black Panther power, which is a pretty cool concept. That it's not like he's not a mutant. He wasn't born with these powers. They can be taken and they can be given. Yeah.
They ask all the tribes if they want to have their representative fight.
Yeah.
We meet Daniel Kaluuya's character, W'Kabi.
W'Kabi of the Border Tribe.
The Border Tribe. He's not fighting, though.
Yeah.
And we see some other people that don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Shuri raises her hand like she's going to fight, but she just says, why do we have to do this? Let's just give him the crown.
Yeah, she just wants to go
out
home.
Of here. Yeah.
Because no one is going to challenge him.
But
enter
the Jabari tribe.
The Jabari tribe. Maybe you forgot about them. But they're here and they come out the shadows. I love their entrance from the cave, and you get to see that mask, that gorilla mask that they have, and like their white body like paint.
Yeah,
because they're supposed to be like snowy gorillas, like white gorillas. And they stand opposed to everyone there, opposed to T'Challa, who they claim is a man who couldn't even save his father. He couldn't save his father. That must hit really hard.
Yeah, they're really trash. It's a lot of trash talk.
Yeah, a lot of trash talk. And
saying our nation's technology is built by this kid who doesn't respect our traditions.
Yeah,
kind of got her there.
Yeah,
not that she's not clearly a tech whiz.
Yeah, she is the smartest.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna kick T'Challa's ass.
And it seems like it.
It seems like it because I mean, he really does. He does that bear hug move where he has him. I think the only thing that pulls him back is Queen Mother calling out to him, saying, "Show him who you are." And then he snaps back into it.
Yeah, you get that when he's like being held and he's upside down. So it's like a blurry upside down shot of show him who you are, which is who are you is really the main question. That confronts T'Challa in this movie. Who are you and who are we? Who are you as the leader of us? And yeah.
And he finds some strength to come through at like the last moment.
Pulls through.
Yeah, barely won. Wins by submission though.
He's got him over the waterfall.
Yeah. And actually, I was looking at it. I was just like, T'Challa would be the first to fall over the waterfall. Like they would both fall. If M'Baku doesn't,
but Chadwick's a lot smaller than Winston Duke.
Yeah. So yeah, he wins, and he gets to remain king of Wakanda, and M'Baku has to go back to the mountains with the Jabari tribe. When you take that herb,
the heart-shaped herb,
to become the Black Panther, you go on a vision quest.
Yeah, it's this big. They go. You see like the flowers growing and they're glowing. I think it might be underground or something.
Yeah.
And Forrest Whitaker as the grown-up Zuri is like the spirit guide, I guess. And he sets him on the vision quest so we get to see his late father.
Yeah.
On the ancestral plane.
Yeah. I like this because you get to see like all the Panthers. Well, not all of them, but like a few Panthers. You
all
see
the
more than one.
Kings of Wakanda.
And
they're just chilling in the tree.
Yeah, and then he hops down, and then he becomes his like human shell. And they get to talk again, which is this really cool concept and idea that you don't die. I mean, you die, but like his father's still here with him. He still gets to communicate with him.
So as his first mission as king, really, they got to do something about the black market vibranium, because it's a big, continuing to be a big issue for Wakanda. They hear that there's an artifact that was stolen from the British Museum, originated in Wakanda, made from vibranium, and Claw's got it in his possession and plans to sell it in Busan.
Right. A little bit before that, which is really important to Nakia's character and also just like the overall story that they're trying to create, is that she thinks that they should do more to help the world, that they should open their borders. So she is she's in his ear because he's new king. He doesn't know exactly what to do.
Right.
Whether to stay the same or open up. So you have her character being close, I would say the most closely related to Killmonger. I say it more in a peaceful way.
Same ideals,
same idea.
methods.
Different method, different ideology about it. About opening the border up and saving the world. Because that's what she was doing at the beginning when he went to go get her anyway. Yeah,
I like this conversation. It takes place while they're walking through the outdoor market, and you get more of a sense of just the nation. It's a whole nation of Wakanda. You see the food.
Yeah.
You see, hear more music and
the
singing
markets,
and
the
just
people. And also a little bit before this, we saw a news, like a news clip where they were talking about Wakanda being like a third world country, just like of rainforests and farmers. Right. So now we're seeing what Wakanda actually is.
Well, and then after that, we do see when he visits Wakabi at the border, that's more the agrarian section of the nation.
Yeah.
Where he's got his rhinoceros.
Yeah.
That comes into play later.
Yeah.
In that scene, we find out that Okoye and Wakabi are lovers. I like when they get like the message from Okoye, they have like the beads. Okoye?
Yeah.
Okay. They got the beads that project the hologram.
Yeah.
And they have to hold their hands together.
Yeah, they
each
do it
with
together.
The bead.
Yeah.
The technology in Wakanda is very rooted in like natural elements, I guess. It's like beads. The fabric of the capes become the shields.
Yeah.
There's the stuff like that I really appreciate. Instead of technology and nature being at war with each other in Wakanda, they're merged. They're all one.
The spears become cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rhinoceroses become like cyborg rhinoceros? I don't know what's going on there.
The rhinos are like their horses.
Yeah, so T'Challa and gang's going to South Korea now. This is my favorite sequence. The underground casino.
Ooh. We're skipping the whole Suri, unlike her showing him like the suit,
sneakers.
Yeah, the sneakers, like all that. So yeah, Shuri said she was going to update everything and she was going to get him a new suit. So he goes to pay a visit. And I love like her characterization of being like really young when she sees his sandals and she's like, what are those?
Yeah.
Because he has like the Grill Master 5000s on. He has like the open toe sandals. And he says he wanted to like go old school, which makes sense because when I see footwear like that, I definitely think of like an older black man. And so I'm sure the elders did appreciate it. But yeah, she has sneakers. She had these like communication pieces that like are like have like no limit on range. And all you have to do is speak.
Yeah.
She has this this mechanism that she can use, like you put it on like a car and then she can like drive the car, like that comes into play later. And then also the suit and how the nanites in the suit absorb kinetic energy.
Yes.
And create like this burst of energy.
What doesn't kill him makes him stronger.
Yeah, and it's really funny because she's like hit the suit and then he hits it and it just goes flying. It looks silly. Right. But then she's like hit it again, and when he wants to go hit it, he flies away. Right. Yeah. And then we get to South Korea. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is my favorite sequence.
Your favorite.
I said. Undercover. Mm-hmm. You get they walk in like through the market, go underground. It's this whole thing. Yeah. Enter and you hear The Weeknd playing, and then that's when I remembered that Black Panther was also like a very commercially successful rap compilation album. Yeah. No other Marvel movie has an album. Yeah. Like that. Pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That's part of the universe.
I feel like that's such like part of Black culture. Especially like back in the 90s when a lot of movies had soundtracks, and then they wanted to like bring that feel to it, which was really cool. Yeah. So yeah, you get because all the sound has been very like African. Yeah. So now you get African, but you get like African American. Yeah. Yeah.
Or Canadian in The Weeknd's case.
Yeah. And they're undercover. They're spies. It's espionage.
Yeah, and they can easily point out the Americans in the room, which is impressive because it's not just all white guys. Yeah. But just, I guess, from the way they're carrying themselves and the company they're keeping, they're trying to count out all the Americans. And then T'Challa recognizes Agent Everett Ross, who's played by Martin Freeman, and he was introduced in one of the earlier movies.
Probably Civil War?
Probably. So T'Challa sits down next to him at the table where he's playing the game, like a roulette type of thing, or craps, I don't know. Yeah. And it's like, that's when T'Challa puts it together that Claw's selling the vibranium to the FBI or the CIA.
Yeah. And Ross knows that he still thinks Wakanda is like third world country, but he does know that T'Challa dresses up as
he's the Black
Panther. Yeah. But he doesn't know like that his suit is powered by vibranium or anything like that. No. And what happens next?
Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, Stan Lee cameo.
T'Challa puts his chips down, but then leaves the table. And he wins the conversation, but he ends up winning. So Ross is like, "Hey, you won." And then Stan Lee, rest in power, came in, and he's like, "I'll take care of these." Mm-hmm. He takes the money. Yeah. Then we get the action sequence. Because Claw comes in. Yeah. He kisses the woman outside. Mm-hmm. Just right on the lips.
He's a regular.
Yeah. I love the entrance. Just a lot of swagger. And he has the meeting with Ross. There's a joke about how he's a SoundCloud rapper. Which,
he has a mixtape. It was just a comment on his entourage, pretty much.
Yeah. And then the fight starts, and the sequence is while inside the casino. I'm going to start drooling talking about it. It's all one shot.
It's so well done.
Yeah.
Okoye, who is bald-headed. All the Dora Milaje are bald. She has a wig on, and she hates it. Mm-hmm. I love how they make that very clear because it makes this moment really cool. When she starts fighting and she pulls out her staff and she throws her wig at the guy's face. Yeah. Comical, fighting comedy greatness. And yeah, it's one take, right? So it moves from Okoye to Nakia.
Yeah, it goes like down. The camera goes down a level, and it's just always moving with the action. It's just very kinetic.
Mm-hmm. From Nakia
really
to T'Challa. Mm-hmm. I like how they all like have like their own fighting style.
Yeah.
I watched that breakdown. Did you watch that breakdown with Ryan? And he was breaking it down, like even like the colors of their costumes.
If you want to hear more, it's on YouTube. I think it was Vanity Fair or something. Yeah. Ryan Coogler breaks down the whole scene,
and it's really cool.
Really helps you appreciate the work that went into it, and yeah.
And then it goes, so it moves from Okoye to Nakia to T'Challa, and then it goes back up.
It's Nakia.
It's Nakia?
Yeah.
Oh, Nakia.
I was going to let you keep saying it the American way, but you corrected me about
Okoye, okay.
So.
Nakia. It moves back up to Okoye, and it's like this, the music cue is so cool. I'm not going to make the sound, but the music changes as she's swinging her staff, like she's pulling out her staff, becomes more African sounding. And then it's this really cool moment where she kicks the guy downstairs, and then she jumps and it follows her, and then it goes back to like T'Challa. Yeah. The camera movement and the musicals, they go so well together in this scene.
Mm-hmm. And the fight leads outside where Claw gets in the car. So it becomes a car chase.
Yeah.
Because the Wakandans have the technology to just throw a bead on a car and just start the engine, take it over. Or even for the one T'Challa does, he puts the bead on it, and then the hologram back in Wakanda opens up. Shuri's real excited that she gets to be involved and drive
She's
the
on
car
the team
remotely. So she's driving the car while he's like on top of it.
Yeah. Okoye and I'm going to say Nakia. What was
Nakia?
Nakia.
It's just it's the same name, just different.
Yeah, different pronunciation. They have a vibranium car, so like they're shooting at the car, but nothing is happening, and Okoye calls him primitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she gets out on top and throws her vibranium sphere, and it like stops the car flat. It's so cool. Black Panther, on the other hand, is slashing and jumping around, right?
Yeah. There's the move where there's a bunch of cars in the way because he's in the back, like behind Claw and behind Nakia and Okoye. So like the car chase has already affected traffic, so Shuri thinks the car can't go through, but then T'Challa does the move where he like climbs on the side of it and like tilts the car down, pulling it, uses his claws on the ground to like flip the car and jump it over the whole intersection.
Yeah, it just really shows how strong vibranium is.
Yeah.
Because it's just cutting through that pavement.
But they end up in the middle of a city street.
Yeah.
T'Challa's got Claw.
Yeah.
In his claws. He's got his claws out on Claw.
Yeah.
About to scratch him, but then he's reminded that he's in public.
Yeah. And he can't be seen in this light.
Yeah, no, there's like photos being taken and everything. So
they have to take him in.
They're taken in by Agent Ross.
Yeah.
So they've got Claw in the interrogation, and he's just staring at the one-way mirror, looking at himself, but saying, I see you, because he knows they're right behind it.
Yeah. He's a wild guy. And
then there's a discussion between Okoye and T'Challa.
And Ross.
About, Okoye and T'Challa are talking in Zasha. I don't know how to pronounce the language. And they're saying, all right, let Ross interrogate him a little bit, then we'll get him back to Wakanda.
Yeah.
But Ross says, no, you should just be happy that you're even here. Yeah. He kind of like touches
Yeah, like playfully. And Okoye is
I mean, that's her king.
Yeah, she's like, whoa, but watch it. I'll break your hand. She actually says, I'll put him through that table if he touches you again. Yeah. Which is funny. The same thing that happened when Black Widow touched him in Civil War. The other Dora Milaje stepped up and was like, move your hand, I'm gonna break it. Like, they do not play when it comes to him.
I mean, that's their like main thing, right? They protect them.
Yeah.
Where were they in the UN? And his dad died. So now Ross and Claw are talking.
Yeah.
And Claw's telling him all the secrets about Wakanda that we heard in the prologue.
Yeah, about everything, about their clothes, about, you know, their medicine, about everything, and how rich they actually are. He actually thinks that Claw took all of it, and he says, no, I took like a tiny piece of it.
Yeah.
They're mining
just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, they're mining it and barely like scratch the surface. So...
and then Killmonger comes in to get Claw out of there.
Yeah.
Just pretty... there's a jump there because it kind of seems to come out of nowhere. Just the truck busts into the room and Killmonger gets Claw and there's some shots fired and Ross is shot fatally.
Yeah, he is... he saves Nakia. Saves her. And...
pretty stupidly.
Yeah, but because of that action, they decide to bring him back to Wakanda.
Yes, because they put a bead on his wound, and that can stabilize him. But without more attention from Wakandan technology, he would die.
Yeah. So
T'Challa makes a decision: we'll bring him to Wakanda.
Yeah.
And W'Kabi is pissed.
Yeah, W'Kabi had some personal skin in the game. Claw killed his father as well, and he really wanted Claw either brought back dead or alive. Didn't matter, but he wanted him back.
He's mad that Claw got away. Yeah, and that now they're bringing in this white man into Wakanda.
Their second white man. Yeah, because Bucky's there.
That's the end credits scene, though. Yeah,
but Don't we know he's there already, though? No?
Oh, it was like the end credits of one of the other ones?
Yeah.
Of Civil War, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. W'Kabi's pissed, but they're going to go through with give Ross the medical attention he needs. Then we cut back to Killmonger and gang to see what's going on there.
Yeah.
They got Claw out. So what's the next part of this big plan?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's to kill Claw.
Yeah.
I thought they were together.
Nope. Bad guys never stick together.
While Claw's dying a dramatic death, we get the little speech from Killmonger about
he also kills his girl.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that.
Oh, because he kills her first.
Okay.
Oh.
What?
Because like Claw is trying to use the girl as the leverage, but Killmonger kills her just to show how ruthless he is in his mission, and then shoots Claw.
Yep.
And Claw just thinks like that he's an American,
right?
That he's an outsider. He has no right to be in Wakanda. He's never going to find it. But then Killmonger reveals his lip, and he has the key. Yeah,
he's Wakandan.
Yeah.
And we get the speech about his scars.
Yeah, what they mean.
Every single kill he's done for the Americans.
There's a lot of bumps on his body too. A lot of scarring.
Yeah, that's what I said. The scars.
Yeah,
for each kill.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, there's a lot. Like, it's not just, like, one or 50. No, there's his whole body. His whole body. Torso. And the scarring's really cool because that is also very African scarring as well.
And back in Wakanda, we've got T'Challa asking Zuri about what happened to his uncle. Yeah. Because he saw this guy, this American... It's he's got this ring that's the same as his.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird for an American to have that. What's going on? There's got to be more to this story.
Right.
But Zuri doesn't want to tell him. He says some truth is too much to bear. But, T'Challa's his king, so he insists.
Yeah. And he tells the story. Now we get the complete picture from what we saw at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, we go back to the flashback and we see
that Njobu tried to kill Zuri.
Mm-hmm.
But T'Chaka intervened and killed his own brother.
Yep, saving Zuri's life.
Yeah, and they left the scene as is. They didn't do anything. They also knew that he had a child, and they left that child. Yeah,
T'Chaka ordered Zuri to lie that Njobu had disappeared and was left behind, rather than what really happened. And he has a son who, guess what, grows up to be Eric Stevens.
Yeah.
U.S. Black Ops soldier who adopted the name Killmonger.
Yep. T'Challa wants to keep it a secret. Which this scene and then the next scene is great because T'Challa wants to keep it a secret. He doesn't want to tell anyone.
Yeah, that's what his father's will.
Yeah, but as soon as that's over, we see that Killmonger has entered Wakanda.
He's at the border
with Claw,
and he's dragging the body bag. Yeah. Gives Wakabi what he wanted.
Yeah,
the dead body of the man who killed his father.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got some traction.
Yeah.
With some of the Wakandans now.
Yeah, he knows how to make an entrance, and he knows that if you're gonna come somewhere, then you need to come bearing gifts.
Yep.
Right.
So Wakabi brings him into the castle, the royal quarters.
Yeah.
And they've got all the elders are meeting.
Yeah.
And everyone's shouting, telling T'Challa what to do. Get this guy out of here, this outsider. He's not one of us.
Right.
And Killmonger's just saying, ask me who I am.
Yeah, I love it. He's just like, ask me I know who I am. Ask me who I am. And T'Challa won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he starts to walk away.
Yeah, but dude with the gauge in his lip.
Yeah, with the giant lip ring. He's like, who are you? And then he shouts out, Ndjaka, son of
You're trying to do the speech?
I'm trying. Njobu. He's son of Njobu.
Right.
And he pulls out the ring. Well, actually, they call him a liar. And then Wakabi's actually like, no, it's true. And then he pulls out the ring of his father.
Mm-hmm.
And
he challenges T'Challa.
Yeah.
Combat, says, I'm about to be king. I'm about to kick your ass.
Yeah, I have a blood right to the throne.
Yeah, and it's up to T'Challa what to do if he wants to accept the challenge.
Yeah.
His mother thinks he should not.
Mm-hmm.
But he does.
Yeah. Wastes no time. He doesn't even let Killmonger complete the challenge request before he's like, I accept your challenge.
Yeah. So now we're back at the waterfall.
Yeah.
And it's then you see, this is why they showed us this whole, how the tradition works. So now later in the movie, when it's subverted, we go back to it, it's familiar to us and we see why things are not as they should be.
Mm-hmm. And
T'Challa gets his powers taken away and we get a fight.
Yeah, it's the vibe this time is different. It's not as they're not as joyous, I would say. And it's I feel like it's less people there this time.
Well, yeah, because they had said it would take weeks to prepare.
Right.
Killmonger says, I don't need an audience.
All right. So yeah, it's a lot smaller, a lot quieter. And Killmonger is just like, I waited my whole life for this moment to kill you. Grew up very angry.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes off his shirt and he shows that physique. And what a physique. He's just like, each one of these scars has been to get to you. And so he has in the comic book, Killmonger has these weapons kind of like what he uses in this fight. The short staff blades, which is really cool.
Yeah, and Killmonger is really kicking T'Challa's ass.
Yeah.
And Zuri intervenes because it seems to be getting, I guess, more violent than it needs to be. I don't know.
Yeah, he's actually about to kill him. About to stab him.
Zuri says, "Don't kill him, kill me instead.
Yeah.
I'm the one that killed your father.
Yeah.
Not T'Challa."
Yeah.
But Killmonger says, "I'll get both of you."
And he calls him Uncle Zuri or Uncle something, and like he knows who he is.
Right.
The whole time, Zuri was trying to hide, trying to like shamefully hide his face from him, to be like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't remember me," but he did. He remembered him.
Yep. So he kills him and defeats T'Challa, and as if that wasn't enough, he then throws him over the edge of the waterfall.
Yeah.
And we get the very dramatic "No" from Angela Bassett.
Yeah. Is this your king? That became such a thing on Twitter. Like that was like the thing in like 2018. Is this your king? Is this your queen? He was like, "No, I'm your king now." And so Queen Mother and Shuri and then they all have to go.
They're like, "We got to go now."
Yeah.
So now Killmonger's got his turn to ingest the heart-shaped herb and enter the ancestral plane. And I like the contrast between what T'Challa's vision was of the ancestral plane and what Killmonger experiences, because whereas T'Challa is this big open plain with the trees and everything, that's just the view from the apartment where his father died that Killmonger sees. Like that's just outside the window, but he's more confined to the walls.
Yeah.
And to this trauma he experienced as a child. Yeah.
I also love in this scene that he becomes a kid again.
Yeah. Talking to his dad.
Trying
to understand what his dad was. Yeah.
Trying to understand what his dad was trying to do and understand, like, even though his father gave him a key, why Wakanda wouldn't accept him, you know? And, why Wakanda is actually the lost one. And I'm not lost, but Wakanda's lost.
Killmonger gets out of the vision and decides, let's burn this whole thing down.
Yeah.
No one else is going to be getting the heart-shaped herb.
Yeah.
So we get fire.
Yeah, he burns everything down. This was maybe the first time where I was just kind of like, I had a disagreement with Killmonger, not because he burned down the plant, but because he choked that lady. Yeah,
they use violence against women as like.
Yeah, this is like the way to be time.
Like, even though you may be sympathetic with this guy, he's bad. He's violent against women. So most people would see that as a flaw.
Yes, but Nakia, she saves one plant, one herb. As a gift, she's going to give it to someone. Yeah,
and then we get a conversation between her and Okoye, and Nakia's urging her to join her and Shuri and I forget what Angela Bassett's character's name is.
Queen Mother.
Queen Mother.
Yeah, Queen Mother.
And to join them in like going rogue to try to overthrow Killmonger, but we get once again just clearly defined characters, motivations and interests, and Okoye decides, no, Killmonger won
He won. He's the king and now, I serve the throne.
Yes, Wakanda's my nation. I'm not going against my nation.
Yeah, she's a loyalist. And Nakia is like thinking with her heart, I would say.
Right.
And so, you have this like very clear opposition in these characters and where they stand on this, even though it's not right, it's what it is. Yeah.
I don't like the whole sequence where T'Challa is not technically alive in his own movie.
Yeah.
There's I feel like there's supposed to be a tension there, but obviously he's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Marvel movie. No one dies in those, really. Let alone the title character in the movie when the movie's not over.
Right.
Yeah.
It just works for the characters to be worried, really.
Yeah, and to bring in the Jabari later, because what they do is they go into the mountains, to the Snow Tribe, to the Jabari to present the flower-shaped herb and say, you gotta help us. It turns out they have T'Challa's body.
Yeah, which is really big of M'Baku, because he could have just took the plan and became like a super-powered being. But instead, he did the nice thing and took them to T'Challa.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they give him the herb to try to bring him back and his powers back. And then we get another visit to the ancestral plane.
Those that snow must have like vibranium in it, or it must be affected by the vibranium, because the snow is the only thing keeping him alive.
Yeah.
And they had to like cover him in it completely. It's really cool.
So he visits his father, and this time it's not all respect.
Yeah, he's upset.
Asking why did you kill your brother? What happened?
Why did you keep it a secret? You know, what you did, it created a monster. You know what I mean? And now I have to right your wrong. I have to fix your mistake.
Yep. And he's back.
Yeah. Killmonger has gotten, I would say, a majority, or at least they're just following him to wage a war to put vibranium and like the weapons of Wakanda in the hands of Black people to fight against their oppressors
all over the world.
This is one of those moments. I feel like this like kind of like in a weird way ties into Selma after they got
there's a bit of a Malcolm Martin
definitely but in that one scene where the guy and Selma's trying to get the guns and Andre Holland's just like, we can't fight them, we'll lose. In this instance,
they wouldn't lose.
They wouldn't. They would be ready because those spears can take out tanks. It's just very different.
I like the scene where Killmonger takes the throne. He's walking into the palace, and the camera does like a vertical 360 turn, like a clockwise movement all the way around. So as he's sitting down on the throne, you know it's not right.
Yeah, it's not right.
Everything's upside down.
It's inverted. And also, I also love like the bass and the like percussion that his character brings into the movie.
Yeah, the Killmonger theme.
Yeah, the doom, doom, doom. Yeah, Ludwig also did that in like in The Mandalorian too. Like the bass that he uses, like so good, and it feels bad. Yeah, like bad guy music. Yeah.
So now we're ready for the big third act fight, which I don't like the third acts of Marvel movies very much. And as much as I liked everything else leading up to this,
you didn't like the fight? Or
I guess the fight on the plains was good. The fight between T'Challa and Killmonger at the end by the train did not do it for me at all. Because it's just that every Marvel movie, the first one, it's the bad guy just has the same exact powers as the good guy in a similar looking suit, and you don't see the actors' faces. It's just CGI and just lights and sounds, and you know the good guy's gonna win.
Well, yeah, that's just about anything except for Infinity War.
Yeah, right, which is part of why I loved Infinity War.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, let's talk about it. Yeah. There is a lot that does happen.
Yeah, there is a lot. So Killmonger is putting his plan into action, and he's actually loaded up the jets to send them out into the world and get these weapons into the hands of people. But when the first plane is on his way out, it's brought down by T'Challa, and he reveals himself, to be alive. And Okoye is so excited
and empowered.
Yeah, he's empowered.
He's got a suit on.
Yeah, and so by this logic, the challenge for the throne isn't over.
Yeah, he says, "I never gave in.
Yeah, I didn't concede, and I'm not and I'm alive." And so that's all Okoye needs to hear, and she's like, "Well,
now she's good.
Yeah, that's my king again.
Yeah,
we're back to it." But W'Kabi is I want to say he's hurt.
Yeah.
I want to say that. So he is not thinking clearly. So he sides with Killmonger.
Yeah, and so now we get a lot of Wakanda on Wakanda violence.
Yeah. The Border Tribe charges T'Challa.
Yeah, they got those shields, but he just jumps over them and then attacks them.
Yeah. And the Dora Milaje get to fight Killmonger.
Yeah, the girls finally get some hits in against him.
It's so great because the women in this movie have been fighting the whole time. That is not, they didn't get to the end without doing it, and it being this moment of, wow, now the women get to fight. No, the women have been kicking ass this whole time. It's really great, and it's just a great continuation. Because, and I love the way they fight. They fight as a team.
Yeah.
And then you also get Nakia and Shuri fighting as well. Like they all
using their gadgets.
They all get to fight.
Meanwhile, Agent Ross, who is healed, is joining the fight, remotely flying one of the spaceships to take down the other ships.
Yeah, I made an American Sal for you. He's so like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Like yesterday.
She says, don't worry, it's just like riding a hover bike. And he says, you got hover bikes?
You got hover bikes? Yeah, this has been a day for him. He got shot in the spine and now he's able to walk perfectly fine. All in a day. And now he's like flying a jet from the comfortability of like the lab. Yeah. This is like, wow. But he does so very well. Like he's very capable.
The lab doesn't stay comfortable though because a ship comes right up to him.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap up the Ross stuff.
Oh, okay.
Ship comes right up to him, but he decides that, you know what, I'm an ally.
Yeah.
I'll sacrifice myself, turn the ship back on.
Yeah.
He flies the ship remotely to the other ship that's actually pointed at his real location to take that down.
Yeah.
Gets that right in time.
Yeah. And the Border Tribe is winning at this point. And they're closing everyone in. But then the Jabari tribe come through, even though M'Baku said they wouldn't.
Oh wait, before that, the rhinos come in.
Oh yeah, the rhinos.
Yeah, the rhinos. Gets up on the rock with the horn, calls in the rhinos. So T'Challa's got to take down some cyber rhinos.
Yeah.
All right. Go on. Yeah, Jabari comes through.
Yeah, Jabari comes through. And it's like that thing, like, when you think all hope is lost, and then at the last minute, they come through. And that's what happens, right? They change the game.
Right.
And they start taking out all of the Border Tribe.
Meanwhile.
Yeah.
T'Challa and Killmonger, who's got his own Black Panther suit.
Yeah, they
go down into the mines.
Yeah, they finally get their one-on-one.
Their one-on-one.
Their rematch. But, like, super-powered rematch.
It had been explained before that the mines are, like, magnetic and vibranium, and there's this way... The way he stops Killmonger is because he's able to, like, disable the suit. So it's kind of like the fight at the beginning where they're both... on an even plane.
Yeah.
Except
they're like
not
empowered
because
out of power.
He's like pushing them out through the force field or whatever.
Yeah.
T'Challa's got him.
Yeah.
He's going in for the kill. But he's got mercy.
Yeah.
But Killmonger does not accept the mercy.
Yeah. This whole time while they're fighting, they're also fighting with words and Killmonger is really explaining his stance of being in America and just knowing that there was this great nation out there that could help and that he was suffering and that people like him were suffering. And it just really explains his character and why he's so angry.
Yeah.
Like, so angry.
He pulls the spear that T'Challa's got pointed at him into his own chest, and he says, "My ancestors knew that death was better than bondage."
Did he pull it in, or did he? I thought he just took it out and then pretty much just like bled out.
I thought he pulled it in, but I mean, I wrote pull spear into chest.
Maybe I was looking at my phone, but yeah. I mean, he has this line of it was like a kid from Oakland running around believing in fairy tales, right? And I feel like that line explains him so much, as I had stated earlier. When you're a kid living in America, a black kid or whatever, and you just see like so much injustices, but then you have this story that your father used to tell you of this great black nation that is out there, but doesn't do anything to help you. You probably do grow angry, and then you probably want to get there and take it over and like fix that. And that I feel like that line just explains him as like still being like an angry kid. And I also love that he gets to see the sunset.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I realized he does pull the spear out, because then T'Challa takes him up to see the sunset on Wakanda. Yeah. As his final, last thing he sees as he dies.
Yeah, his father used to talk to him about, the beautiful sunset. Yeah. And in his anger and in his mission, he never got to witness it. Yeah. But now, in his final moments, he gets to see it. And it's the most peaceful, the most calm he is. Mm-hmm. Looking at this sunset.
And the movie ends back in Oakland, where